2 months ago, 3 months ago, when I was here, I warned that as soon as it appears that proximity talks will begin, there will be a Jerusalem incident that will derail the process, and that my candidate is Shepherd's Hotel. There is no greater joy than the ability to gloat and say, "I told you so." But to be honest, there's not much satisfaction in that gloating, seeing the dire predictions taking place. I also said then, and I think this is a good point of departure today, that we are in the midst of a great drama. I think we may be in a minor intermission of that drama, something of a hiatus. But that drama, the lines of that drama are now starkly clear. There is a race going on between facts and cognition. Facts on the ground that are doing three things, each of which have dire consequences to the conflict and the very ability now and at any point in the visible future to resolve this conflict. Those facts are continued settlement activity in and around Jerusalem to such an extent that the demography and geography of the city will become so balkanized, such an ethnic patchwork, creating Siamese twin-like realities between Israelis and Palestinians, that the two-state solution will no longer be possible. That is a trend that has been unleashed. It is not the twinkle in some planner's eye or in the soul of Netanyahu. Left unattended, it will be under the watch of this president in his first, perhaps only term, where the two-state solution will be lost. The second set of facts is the morphing of this resolvable and manageable political conflict into a completely intractable religious conflict, zero-sum combination of Milchemet Mitzvah, Holy War, Armageddon, Second Coming, etc. That is happening before our eyes. And we are seeing radicalization of the whole area, the public domain in and around the old city, in ways that are antithetical to the foreign policy of this government. What is transpiring today in Jerusalem cuts against every word, every fiber of President Obama's Cairo address. And finally, we are seeing the facts that are turning Jerusalem into the arena of choice for all of the spoilers. It is not accidental. It is not accidental that every skirmish between President Obama and Netanyahu and every event that prevented, until now, the resumption of political talks, even proximity talks, has been over a Jerusalem issue. It is the easiest place to derail things. It is also the most difficult place for the Arab world to give the necessary political cover to resumption of negotiations under circumstances that make them look complicit in the loss of Al-Quds to the Arab world and the loss of the marginalization of Islam and Christianity in Jerusalem due to exclusionary settler organizations. So these create drama of the highest order. We are running out of time. It is not 6 months, but it is not 6 years. And that lends a dimension of urgency to crisis management and conflict resolution that I believe has not always been warranted in the past. We now have a major encounter between President Obama and Netanyahu over a Jerusalem issue, settlements, the announcement of settlement expansion plans during the Biden visit, the Shepherd's Hotel hours before the meeting between President Obama and Netanyahu, and that, I think, has revealed another dimension of this high drama. At the moment, The artillery has been moved back from the front lines. We are in something of an intermission. Have no doubt. The bitter disagreement and potential confrontation between the Obama administration and the Netanyahu government is a confrontation deferred. It is not a confrontation resolved. In recent weeks, since we're using dramatic imagery, there have been a number of guns left on the table during this first act that will go off by the end of the play. There are Israeli guns and there are American guns as well. And I would like to illuminate those. Number one, since being in town last week, a lot of the concern in the administration has been, what's going to happen at the end of September when we reach the end of the settlement freeze, or when talks are not going anywhere, and when the 4-month period granted by the Arab League expires? And my response to that is, hey guys, why do you think you're going to get that far? I said in February, I'm saying again, another significant Jerusalem event that will put the possibility of continued talks to a serious threat is a matter of weeks and not months. We are not going to take, these negotiations will not take place in a perfect storm. And these are the Israeli pistols on the table. Number one, there is an element of the recidivist in Bibi Netanyahu. Behave, 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 forget yourself, and then do something stupid. But he actually believes and has articulated, I need to do what I need to do. In order for me to have political cover and proceed on negotiations, I have to go 2 steps forward, 2 steps backward. The step backward will invariably be in Jerusalem, which I perceive as giving me the best political capital domestically in Israel. Get used to me. My response to the people around Netanyahu who have told me as much, it's not for me to get used to. Will the president get used to it? Will the Arab world get used to it? Will the Palestinian interlocutor get used to it? But that's pistol number one. Pistol number two is the Netanyahu government has a curious approach to governance across the board. When Ariel Sharon would go to sleep at night and dream his dreams of the future of Israel, he would dream concrete and bulldozers. When Netanyahu goes to sleep at night, he dreams microphones and sound bites. It is almost as though if you have a plausible explanation to Mr. Mitchell, you have solved the problem. There is little awareness that this is the responsibility of a government, not of a political commentator, who has to wield the levels of power to bring Jerusalem under control. So far, the Netanyahu government has exhibited little will and little ability in expending energy, much less political capital, to bring Jerusalem under control.